Hi, this is David Pratt with Brick Restaurant. I want to do something super quick for you. A lot of people have gluten intolerance or gluten-free. Right now it's very popular, and even in a pizza restaurant we have a lot of gluten-free requests. So I wanted to make something very quick for you that is gluten-free, that you can use instead of bread to serve any kind of tapenade or cheese or eggplant puree called caponata. Really anything you want. Pesto is really very classic, actually. It's from the north, from Liguria. It's called Farinata. It's chicken.
Exactly what you want to see.
So it's really easy, super easy recipe. A little more water than chickpea flour. 1 cup of chickpea flour, maybe not quite 3/4 of a cup of chickpea flour. And sorry, it's really easy. Take 1 cup of warm water, 3/4 of a cup of chickpea flour, maybe a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, a little rosemary, a little salt. Very important is pepper. Pepper is important. And you just mix them together, and you get yourself like a pancake batter. Let it sit out for 2 hours, room temperature. Maybe skim off some of the scum that comes to the top. And then, now this came from Italy. This is a true Farinata pan, which I just brought back, which is amazing. But if you don't want to go to Italy and get a Farinata pan, just get a piece of cast iron, which is fine. You can use a brick oven. You do not need a brick oven. Not everybody has one. But I get it nice and hot. You can just use olive oil, or you can spray first. Spray a little bit, little olive oil as well. Done. It gets nice and hot. We're not going to use the cast iron. We're going to use this one. And I'm going to just whisk up my batter a little bit. This is a pretty big pan, so I'll probably use about 6 ounces of the batter, and I'll just throw it in my oven. Again, you can just put it in your oven at home at a high heat, kind of 450, 500. But I'm going to put it in my brick. That's hot. Our brick right now is about 725, and you're going to see it bubble. Depending on how hot the oven is, how fast it'll cook. This will cook in less than 5 minutes. Mint and basil up here. Wow.
Special brand of it?
No. It's a little Sicilian extra virgin olive oil. I use, my favorite olive oil is from the Garda, which is from the north. But any kind of good quality olive oil, it's important for finishing. You know, it has a nice little buttery, but it also has a bite to it, nice and green. Chickpea flour, you know, this came from Italy, but there's so many great stores out there right now. I would be surprised if you couldn't find that same product in Whole Foods or really any kind of chickpea flour you can find milled already in so many stores. Yeah, the top is like 1,000 degrees.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's got some nice color. So it's rising in the center. Sometimes that happens. Just gonna pull it out. It's hot, so be careful. That's why we sprayed the bottom so it doesn't stick. Put that in for a second. All right, it's totally cooked. And, you know, you can get it crispier, more color, but this is nice. Put that on there. And then I made an eggplant caponata, which is, I've got about 13 different ingredients in it. Super good. Does have 2 vinegars and some cocoa powder. And we'll just kind of put some in the center. And then lastly, And then lastly, I'm going to put a little fresh pepper on top. Little olive oil. Put it in front of your guests with a sharp knife. With a sharp knife, let them do the work. And it's an easy way to have a gluten-free kind of bread to serve up. They'll cut it. It's cooked. Spread it on. That's a nice way to start a dinner. Gluten-free, healthy, from the farm. It's hot. It's delicious. It's really good.